Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Be bright by reflecting or casting light. Drive carefully, the wet road reflects. Reflect deeply on a subject. To throw or bend back, from a surface. Sound is reflected well in this auditorium. Give evidence of a certain behavior. His lack of interest in the project reflects badly on him. Give evidence of the quality of. The mess in his dorm room reflects on the student. Manifest or bring back. This action reflects his true beliefs. Show an image of. Her sunglasses reflected his image. Be bright by reflecting or casting light. Emit light. Be bright, as of the sun or a light. Make a surface shine. Shine the silver, please. Touch or seem as if touching visually or audibly. The quality of being bright and sending out rays of light. Be shiny, as if wet. Experience a feeling of well-being or happiness, as from good health or an intense emotion. Have a complexion with a strong bright color, such as red or pink. Be clear and obvious. Be distinguished or eminent. His talent shines. Throw or flash the light of a lamp. Reflect deeply on a subject. Think intently and at length, as for spiritual purposes. Reflect deeply on a subject. Consider as a possibility. I contemplated leaving school and taking a full-time job. Look at thoughtfully. Observe deep in thought. Contemplate one's navel. Come up with an idea, plan, explanation, theory, or principle, after a mental effort. Excogitate a way to measure the speed of light. Reflect deeply on a subject. The scientist must stop to observe and start to excogitate. Think intently and at length, as for spiritual purposes. Reflect deeply on a subject. Reflect deeply on a subject. I mulled over the events of the afternoon. An island in western Scotland in the Inner Hebrides. A term used in Scottish names of promontories. Heat with sugar and spices to make a hot drink. Mulled cider. Reflect deeply on a subject. Reflect deeply on a subject. In ancient Greek mythology, any of 9 daughters of Zeus and Mnemosyne, protector of an art or science. The source of an artist's inspiration. Euterpe was his muse. Reflect deeply on a subject. Reflect deeply on a subject. Chew the cuds. Cows ruminate. Invest at a risk. To believe especially on uncertain or tentative grounds. Reflect deeply on a subject. Philosophers have speculated on the question of God for thousands of years. Talk over conjecturally, or review in an idle or casual way and with an element of doubt or without sufficient reason to reach a conclusion. Reflect deeply on a subject. Ring or echo with sound. Spring back. Spring away from an impact. To throw or bend back, from a surface. be reflected as heat, sound, or light or shock waves. The waves reverberate as far away as the end of the building. Have a long or continuing effect. The discussions with my teacher reverberated throughout my adult life. Treat, process, heat, melt, or refine in a reverberatory furnace. Reverberate or give to several people. Stop operating or functioning. Give off, send forth, or discharge, as of light, heat, or radiation, vapor, etc. Prove insufficient. Expel, gases or odors. Express audibly. Utter sounds, not necessarily words. Give off, send forth, or discharge, as of light, heat, or radiation, vapor, etc. The ozone layer blocks some harmful rays which the sun emits. Give off, send forth, or discharge, as of light, heat, or radiation, vapor, etc. Have as a byproduct. Judge or regard. Look upon, judge. I think he is very smart. Recall knowledge from memory. Have a recollection. I can't think what her last name was. Have in mind as a purpose. She didn't think to harm me. Expect, believe, or suppose. He didn't think to find her in the kitchen. Use or exercise the mind or one's power of reason in order to make inferences, decisions, or arrive at a solution or judgments. I've been thinking all day and getting nowhere. An instance of deliberate thinking. I need to give it a good think. Bring into a given condition by mental preoccupation. Decide by pondering, reasoning, or reflecting. Can you think what to do next? Dispose the mind in a certain way. Do you really think so? Focus one's attention on a certain state. Think thin. Have or formulate in the mind. Think good thoughts. Imagine or visualize. Just think you could be rich one day. Ponder. Reflect on, or reason about. Be capable of conscious thought. Man is the only creature that thinks. Use or exercise the mind or one's power of reason in order to make inferences, decisions, or arrive at a solution or judgments. Consider carefully and deeply. Reflect upon. Turn over in one's mind. Use or exercise the mind or one's power of reason in order to make inferences, decisions, or arrive at a solution or judgments. Provide evidence for. Provide evidence for. Stand as proof of. Show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. Give evidence. Your basis for belief or disbelief. Knowledge on which to base belief. The evidence that smoking causes lung cancer is very compelling. An indication that makes something evident. His trembling was evidence of his fear. Law. All the means by which any alleged matter of fact whose truth is investigated at judicial trial is established or disproved. Provide evidence for. Stand as proof of. Show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. His high fever attested to his illness. Give testimony in a court of law. Authenticate. Affirm to be true, genuine, or correct, as in an official capacity. I attest this signature. Establish or verify the usage of. This word is not attested until 1993. Provide evidence for, stand as proof of, show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. This decision demonstrates his sense of fairness. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. The experiment demonstrated the instability of the compound. March in protest. Take part in a demonstration. Thousands demonstrated against globalization during the meeting of the most powerful economic nations in Seattle. Provide evidence for, stand as proof of, show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. Guarantee as meeting a certain standard. Authorize officially. Declare legally insane. Guarantee payment on, of checks. Provide evidence for, stand as proof of, show by one's behavior, attitude, or external attributes. The buildings in Rome manifest a high level of architectural sophistication. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Manifest disapproval. A customs document listing the contents put on a ship or plane. Record in a ship's manifest. Each passenger must be manifested. Reveal its presence or make an appearance. The ghost manifests each year on the same day. Be oriented. The weather vane points north. Sail close to the wind. Repair the joints of bricks. Point a chimney. Any of 32 horizontal directions indicated on the card of a compass. He checked the point on his compass. Be a signal for or a symptom of. Her behavior points to a severe neurosis. A specific identifiable position in a continuum or series or especially in a process. A distinct part that can be specified separately in a group of things that could be enumerated on a list. The main point on the agenda was taken up first. An outstanding characteristic. His acting was one of the high points of the movie. A V shape. The cannibal's teeth were filed to sharp points. A contact in the distributor. As the rotor turns, its projecting arm contacts them and current flows to the spark plugs. The dot at the left of a decimal fraction. Direct into a position for use. Point a gun. Indicate a place, direction, person, or thing, either spatially or figuratively. He pointed to the empty parking space. The property of a shape that tapers to a sharp tip. The gun muzzle's direction. He held me up at the point of a gun. A V-shaped mark at one end of an arrow pointer. The point of the arrow was due north. An isolated fact that is considered separately from the whole. A point of information. A wall socket. An instant of time. At that point I had to leave. A very small circular shape. A row of points. Direct the course. Determine the direction of traveling. Give a point to. Intend something, to move towards a certain goal. A punctuation mark, placed at the end of a declarative sentence to indicate a full stop or after abbreviations. A brief version of the essential meaning of something. Get to the point. A distinguishing or individuating characteristic. He knows my bad points as well as my good points. A geometric element that has position but no extension. A point is defined by its coordinates. A linear unit used to measure the size of type, approximately 1/72 inch. A promontory extending out into a large body of water. They sailed south around the point. A style in speech or writing that arrests attention and has a penetrating or convincing quality or effect. Be positionable in a specified manner. The gun points with ease. Indicate the presence of game by standing and pointing with the muzzle. The dog pointed the dead duck. Mark, a psalm text, to indicate the points at which the music changes. Mark, Hebrew words, with diacritics. Mark with diacritics. Point the letter. 1% of the total principal of a loan. It is paid at the time the loan is made and is independent of the interest on the loan. Sharp end. He stuck the point of the knife into a tree. The object of an activity. What is the point of discussing it? The precise location of something, a spatially limited location. She walked to a point where she could survey the whole street. The unit of counting in scoring a game or contest. He scored 20 points in the first half. Provide evidence for. The blood test showed that he was the father. Pretending that something is the case in order to make a good impression. That ceremony is just for show. Take someone to their seats, as in theaters or auditoriums. The usher showed us to our seats. Indicate a certain reading of gauges and instruments. The thermometer showed 13 degrees below zero. Indicate a place, direction, person, or thing, either spatially or figuratively. I showed the customer the glove section. Show in, or as in, a picture. Be or become visible or noticeable. His good upbringing really shows. Something intended to communicate a particular impression. A show of impatience. Give an exhibition of to an interested audience. She shows her dogs frequently. Give expression to. She showed her disappointment. Establish the validity of something, as by an example, explanation or experiment. The mathematician showed the validity of the conjecture. A social event involving a public performance or entertainment. They wanted to see some of the shows on Broadway. Finish third or better in a horse or dog race. He bet $2 on number 6 to show. Give evidence of, as of records. The diary shows his distress that evening. Make visible or noticeable. She showed her talent for cooking. The act of publicly exhibiting or entertaining. A remarkable show of skill. Decree or designate beforehand. Indicate a place, direction, person, or thing, either spatially or figuratively. Give an assignment to a person, to a post, or assign a task to a person. Design or destine. Assign a name or title to. Appointed but not yet installed in office. Be a signal for or a symptom of. These symptoms indicate a serious illness. Indicate a place, direction, person, or thing, either spatially or figuratively. He indicated his opponents. Give evidence of. The results indicate the need for more work. Suggest the necessity of an intervention, in medicine. Tetracycline is indicated in such cases. To state or express briefly. Indicated his wishes in a letter. Be or become luminescent, exhibit luminescence. Merriment expressed by a brightness or gleam or animation of countenance. He had a sparkle in his eye. Emit or produce sparks. The occurrence of a small flash or spark. Reflect brightly. Unquarried marble sparkled on the hillside. Be lively or brilliant or exhibit virtuosity. The musical performance sparkled. The quality of shining with a bright reflected light. Become bubbly or frothy or foaming.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.